the former Arsenal player, is going to win the Premier League.
It's not a difficult one to work out, to be fair, is it? I'm not just saying it now, but I did say beginning the season that I thought we'd win the Premier League or the Champions League because Arteta's under pressure. Where we are because of him. He's the reason that we're relevant. Brought the soul back, he's brought that desire back into the club. But he knew himself that it's time to win one of the big ones. And I was, I don't know if you say fortunate or unfortunate enough to be at the Etihad when obviously Man City beat us 2-1. And I had my car parked about 20 minutes away and I had the longest 20 minutes walk surrounded by Man City fans singing. They actually thought they'd won the title. They thought that that had won it for them. There was a little bit of sort of complacency. And I was in my head, I was thinking, I wish I could show this to the Arsenal players. Do you know what I mean? And I think what happened, the performance of Arsenal in that game was really good. On the front foot, could have gone either way at 1-1. Ibrahimovic hit inside the post, Havertz should have scored. So I thought Arsenal took confidence away from that. But this isn't the Man City of 2 seasons ago, because the Everton game on Monday, which I obviously thought was quite funny, but they were controlled, 1-0 up, total control. The Man City of 2 seasons ago, that game's done and dusted. They go and win it 2, 3 or 4. But when you're playing against this Man City team, you know that they're vulnerable. You know that sort of assurances were gone. And I only have to go back to even as far back when they played Spurs at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. They were 2-0 up. It could have been 5 or 6. They ended up drawing that 2-2. And Pep Guardiola had an interview and they asked him before the Everton game, do you think this squad has got the character and the leadership to go and win the title? And he was honest. He went, I don't know, because this group of players are in transition, which is true. Yep. And you mentioned about Rodri. He was always the enforcer in the middle of midfield, gives them control. So it's not over by any means because could be a few twists and turns. Man City have to go to Bournemouth, which they're flying at the minute. Obviously, Arsenal got a massive game on Sunday against West Ham. So it's nowhere near over. But if you as Arsenal fans, and which I am, and you said to me beginning the season, you'll be coming first week in May and you have 4 games to win the Premier League and the Champions League, every Arsenal fan will Snapchat. This Arsenal group of players are 4 games from immortality. They're 4 games from being the greatest club side that Arsenal have ever had. They go above the Invincibles because there's no argument. But the reverse of that is it's unthinkable, actually, if they don't come away. I'm not thinking about it, Victor, if you don't mind. Right. All right. Stay positive.
Well, let's stay positive, because Viktor Gyökeres is actually in a positive form at the moment, isn't he? He still divides opinion, though, despite the fact that he's got 21 goals. Where do you stand on him? I've been banging a solitary drum, actually, from the beginning of the season. Because when he was at Coventry, I thought there was a bit of snobbery about not buying him from the Championship, scoring bundles of goals there in a league that is very, very physical. And I think what he's done, even the goal that he scored there, he made that look easy, but it's not, because he bullies Anderson basically and just pushes him out the way, gets the wrong side of him. Arsenal don't score that goal 18 months ago because they don't have a centre forward in the middle of the 6-yard box. It's a great little cross from Trossard, really good header. And what he's actually grown in stature, because it was nothing wrong with his effort, but Arsenal weren't getting used to the way he played, and he wasn't getting used to the way that Arsenal played, because he's a throwback centre forward where he wants to engage the centre halves. He wants it physical. He wants it in the channels. And because he wasn't established enough to be dominant of the midfield players and the wide players, instead of going wide, checking back, going across again, where a centre forward would say, get it in the box, that's what I do. You can tell, and especially against Atletico Madrid, you could tell that he'd actually grown an inch, that he was confident in himself. And he bullied the centre halves, completely bullied them. Getting the balls in the channels. Obviously had a hand in Saka's goal where he puts the cross in and Trossard has his shot. And you said there he's got 14 Premier League goals, 21. I think the last player was Alexis Sanchez in his debut season to get 20 goals in all competitions. And obviously I'm a Gooner. And I said at the beginning of the season, we sign Gyökeres. I don't care if he gets 10 Premier League goals and we win the title. It's still a brilliant signing. And when Chelsea won their first title under Jose Mourinho, people forget that Didier Drogba only got 10 Premier League goals that season. And no one cares. Do you know what I mean? No,
so
look what he went to do.
I've always been a big fan of Gyökeres. And let's put it this way, he's not going to get any worse. He's only just getting better. There's other standards that he can get to as well. Another player that's getting better all the time when we see him is Mars Lewis-Skelly. Of course, he was put into midfield and he played wonderfully against Fulham and then kept that place for Atletico. Was that a bit of a masterstroke, do you think, from Arteta? It was very brave. I liked it because it was old-fashioned management, because Lewis Skelly. I think Lewis Skelly saved his Arsenal career, actually, because he is a midfield player. Early on in the season, he wanted to play him in midfield, but he got injured. And we see there, he's brilliant at taking the ball in tight areas and getting himself on the half turn. It's just a natural, where like Jack Wilshere used to do that, let the ball run across his body. And the Hale End Academy graduates know how to use their body. If you look at Bukayo Saka, knows how to use his body. So does Lewis Skelly. Max Dowman, who's just come in, who's only 16, same thing. So before the game against Fulham, he was Arsenal's third, even fourth choice left back. But now he's proven that he can play in big games. So I think he saved his Arsenal career, but I think he saved Arsenal some money because Arteta, if he was looking to strengthen in midfield so he can rest Zubimendi, and then he's now going, actually, no, that's not a priority now. I can go and spend the money elsewhere. So but it was brave from Arteta. It was the old-fashioned, you lot won the game on Saturday and you played really well, so you lot go and do it again. Without overthinking stuff. So, and it come to fruition.
All right, let's look at the run-in then, because on paper, it looks a lot easier for your team, you'd have to say. Who's got the toughest in your opinion, and who goes on to win then? You think Arsenal all the way anyway, but who wins those games?
I said when there was 5 games to go that I thought both teams would win 4, draw 1, and I had Man City drawing at Bournemouth. And the bonus for Arsenal fans is obviously against Everton away, where, say, Everton draw it 3-3. From Arsenal fans, West Ham is absolutely massive on Sunday, because I'm not saying if we win it, then the title's done, but it just, again, this last week has just eased everybody down. The brilliant performance against Fulham, although Fulham, obviously, when they're flip-flops and sandals and espadrilles, whatever.
But you can understand why everyone's saying win it and done, because you're not really going to get much from Burnley, you'd think, and then Crystal Palace, what will they be playing?
Well, Crystal Palace will play the B team, because hopefully for Palace fans, they'll be playing the conference final that midweek. So, but Man City will beat Brentford on Saturday evening, and then obviously the pressure ramps up. West Ham are fighting for their lives, obviously at the bottom of the table, fighting against relegation. So again, you can get positivity. There was positivity, obviously, at the Emirates because of what had happened on Monday night. Fans are all human. Fans had normal emotions. That was a massive bonus. And, it's big, obviously, semi-final in the Champions League. But even then, you get that little bit more of an edge. Do you know what I mean? You think, actually, this is working in our favour here, from having the lead and then getting pulled back. So, I've been confident all season that I thought we'd win it this year. And even when we had to start against Bournemouth at home, where that was a bag and all the players were nervous. All of them were nervous, tense, and you lose a yard, half a yard in your pace when you're that. And then it's how you're going to react. And the reaction's been really good. But you know that Man City, they can still chase you down. So it's brilliant for the neutral, because, we're getting to this, the squeaky bum time. It's actually worse than that, I think, isn't it, at the minute?
I'm enjoying it anyway.
Yeah, you can enjoy it. We can't. If you've got a dog in the fight, you can't enjoy it.
Absolutely. Right, stay